What's up YouTube, Dale here from Wargames, bringing you Predaplant decks. This completes our trilogy of Fusion Enforcer decks, so the Invokes, the Predaplants and Fluffles. This is sent in by Joe, so this isn't my personal build. Me and Joe couldn't find the time to get this recorded for you soon enough. Hence the fact these are all multicolour seeds, because this has all come from different decks. So this is Joe's personal build. I'm going to crack straight into it and explain each Predaplant as we go. So we play triple Predaplant Calamity. So monsters with a predator counter that you use as fusion materials are treated as dark. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one dark fusion monster from your extra deck using this card on the field, and monsters from your hand, field, and all monsters with a predator counter your opponent controls as fusion materials. You can only use the effect of Predaplant Calamity once per turn. So, very, very nice card, and it gets to use your opponent's monsters as fusion material. Next up we play triple Predaplant Spino. If this card is normal or special summon, you target one face-up monster your opponent controls, place a predator counter on it, and if it is a level 2 or higher, it becomes a level 1, as long as this card has a predator counter on it. After damage, as long as this card has a predator counter on it. After damage calculation, if this card battles a monster with an equal or lower level, you can special summon one Predaplant monster from your deck, except itself. So very, very nice. Obviously, you get this guy out, you're dropping tokens on him, Predaplant counters, and then you're getting into this guy to start fusion summoning and using your opponent's monsters. Next up, Predaplant Sarah. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. After damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card on the field is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one Predap card from your deck to your hand except itself. You can only use the effect of Predaplant once per turn. So I'm assuming where it says add one Predap, it's supposed to be Predaplant. It just likes to be very, very short. So they're being called Predaps, apparently. Next up, two Predaplant Squid Drossia. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one face-up monster you control. This turn it can attack all monsters your opponent controls with a predator counter on it, once each. If this face-up card leaves the field, place one predator counter on each special summon monsters your opponent controls, and if you do, any of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1 as long as they have a counter on them. So very, very nice card, that one. I'm pretty sure this was the reprint from Dark Illusion or Invasion of Venom. Next up, two Predaplant Flytrap. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, place one Predaplant counter on it, and if it is a level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a counter on it. At the start of the damage step, when this card battles on a monster with an equal level or lower, you can destroy that monster, then increase this card's level by the original level of the destroyed monster. I don't know, how much that's beating over stuff, but you never know. I think this was another reprint. I think it was a rare in one of the Dark Illusions, I think. And then he plays one Predaplant Hydra. You can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard by tributing one monster on either player's field with a counter on it. Nice. You can only special summon one Hydra once per turn this way. During either player's turn, if this card on the field or in the graveyard, you can banish one other Predaplant monster from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack. You can only use the effect of Hydra once per turn. Yeah, straightforward on that one. Next up, a lovely reprint, Triple Lone Fire Blossom. Now this just helps you special summon out your plant monsters, so no matter what you draw in, you're dumping this off, tributing this off for a plant monster, which means you can easily put Glart Bulb in this deck, but this deck wants to focus more on fusion than it does Synchro. Speaking of which, that's why Joe has put in a Debris Dragon. Now, I'm not 100% sure of his choice of Debris Dragon over Glart Bulb. I think it's just to get into your bigger level 7 Synchro. So when this card is normal summoned, you can target one monster with 500 or less attack in your graveyard, special summon that target in attack position, but its effects are negated, cannot be used as Synchro material except for the Synchro summon of a Dragon type monster. The other Synchro materials cannot be level 4. So it helps when you get to the extra deck. You'll see that he plays quite a lot of level 7 Dragon Synchros. So that's quite like the main reason for Debris Dragon. Obviously drop it out for a Glart Bulb if you wish. Next up, Triple Poly, original art reprint, very, very nice. So this all came in the new Fusion Enforcers. Everyone knows what Poly does. Triple Predaplonics, so once per turn you special summon one level 4 or lower Predaplant monster from your hand or graveyard, but it has its effects negated even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn during a standby phase, pay 800 life points or destroy this card. So it's basically a continuous monster reborn for the cost of 800 life points. Triple Predarunning. Activate this card by targeting one Predaplant monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. So again, another monster reborn. Triple Super Solar Nutrient, or Call of the Haunted, but in a spell form. Activate this card by tributing one level 2 or lower plant type monster. Special summon one plant monster from your hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the level the tributed monster had on the field. +3. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So again, it's another continuous equip card, but it just lets you bring out bigger Predaplant monsters from your deck if need be. It's also very, very nice because you can probably go through quite a lot of combos. Now, when I do pin Joe down, we will get a combo video out there for you guys just so you can kind of see what Predaplants can do. Obviously, Foolish Burial because you want to be getting stuff to the grave. Double Instant Fusion. Now, the reason he has Double Instant Fusion in here, when we get to the extra deck, you'll see he likes to play the Invokes. And obviously, Thousand Eyes Restrict, because they're dark. The Thousand Eyes Restrict is dark and it works in your fusions. And obviously, the Invokes, he's got one Book of Moon in there, and he did have one of the Dark one in there. Now, the Dark one is a bit of an odd one. I think it's purely because it's dark, so it can be used as a normal fodder material, so it's an instant fusion dark target. The Book of Moon one is quite self-explanatory because it Book of Moons. You can either Book of Moon itself, so it keeps itself alive, or you Book of Moon one of your opponent's cards. Refusion. Activate this card by paying 800 life points and target one fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, banish one. So there's a lot of get back from grave kind of stuff. Allure of Darkness, because they're all darks, draw power. Double Miracle Fertilizer, very, very nice reprint in Super. Once per turn you target one plant monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Special summon that target. You cannot normal summon or set during the turn you special summon with the effect, even if this card leaves the field. If a monster is special summoned by this effect, leaves the field, destroy this card. So again, another monster reborn thing. It might not be bad, you can probably, I don't know, just because it's grass, you could probably put the grass is greener in this deck and mill more plants to just make it more plant effective. Anyway, last card is the one Predaplant. So if a monster with a Predator counter leaves the field while this card is face up on the field, add one Predap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Predaplant once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. Only Predaplant monsters can be used as fusion material for a fusion summon using this effect. So, if you were to max out on all your Predators, you probably could easily put the grass is greener in here. Bump these up as well to give you a bit more fusion ability, and then possibly put in like fusion recovery and stuff like that. But obviously this is Joe's personal build. He knows more about it than I do. In his extra deck, he plays Triple Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. Very, very nice card. Artwork is beautiful. Focus camera, thank you. Artwork is beautiful. It's one Predaplant monster plus one Dark monster whose original level is 8 or higher. Must first be fusion summoned. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster on the field. Until the end of this turn, change that target's attack to 0. Also, that target has its effects negated. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. So he's basically a board nuke when he hits the grave. You can then banish one level 8 or higher dark monster from your graveyard, special summon this card from your graveyard. So he revives himself by banishing the material used for himself. That is awesome. Speaking of what you use to him, Joe plays Triple Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I only have the 2. So this is your target to, when you've got him out, get into your Venom Greedy Dragon, which is, like we've just discussed, very, very nice. So 2 dark monsters on the field accept tokens. If this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 special summon monster your opponent controls. Beat over max, yeah, until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can target one level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls. Until the end of this turn, that card's name becomes that monster's original name, and replace this effect with that monster's original effect. If this fusion summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So again, another board nuke. But the chances are you're probably going to use this as fodder to get into Greedy. Next up is Triple Predaplant Chimaera Flesia. This is the card that came out in Fusion Enforcers. So, one Predaplant monster, one Dark monster. Once per turn, you can target one monster on the field who's with a level less than or equal to this card. Banish it. Nice, no destruction. When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's face-up monster, you can activate this effect. Until the end of this turn, your opponent's monster loses 1,000 attack, and if it does, this card gains 1,000 attack. Once per turn during the next standby phase, after this card was sent to the graveyard, you can add one poly spell or fusion spell from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher, and it's a 2k swing, because it will rebalance. Next up, he has his instant fusion target. So this is the invoked Rajin. So this is just for the Book of Moon effect, and then the Thousand Eyes restrict. Because it's dark, it can steal one of your opponent's monsters and then be used as fodder, which is very, very nice to clear one of your opponent's monsters off the board. Now, like I said, he did have the dark invoked. Again, just as a fusion target, like Thousand Eyes restrict. But to be totally honest, if you're only using it as an instant fusion target, you could bump Thousand Eyes restrict up, because what the Dark Invoke does is it only allows you to activate one monster effect per turn. Each player can only activate one monster effect per turn, and only one monster can attack that turn. So, unless it's obviously, I don't know why Joe used it exactly. It could just be a stepping stone to get into his fusions. If so, I'd probably go with restrict, so you keep stealing more of your opponent's monsters. Next up, he plays the one Black Rose, the one Clearwing, and then he did play one Moon. I can't find my blooming Black Rose Moon Dragon, and my also suggestion is Ancient Fairy Dragon, for the pure fact that you special summon a level 4 elements from your hand, just to unclog your hand. If you put in the field spell as well, the Fusion Recycling Plant, the promo we got with Raging Tempest, that might help in this deck as well. If you've got clogged hands, to discard, get your poly, so you constantly reviving your polys and dump into grave, which is, from what I see, this is what that deck wants to do. So yes. This is Joe's Predaplant deck. If you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'm sure Joe will be more than happy to answer them for you. He is probably more understanding of the Predaplant than I am. My biggest disappointment was we didn't get Scorpion and the other one, the new Predaplant Terratop engine. But either way, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And as always, guys, until next time, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.